שמש דקה ומרפא בכנפיה.
Boaz had linked the obligation to redeem to the levirate marriage. And then he said, the day you buy the field from the hand of Naomi, you also acquire Ruth the Moabite, the widow of the dead, in order to perpetuate the name of the dead and his inheritance. And our Ploni Almoni has strangely emotional reacted to that. He said, I cannot redeem it for myself, lest I destroy my own inheritance. Take my right of redemption yourself, for I cannot redeem it. And then he confirms his decision by, it says here, now this was the custom in former times in Israel. Obviously, the author has to explain something that is out of date. It was the custom in former times in Israel concerning redeeming and exchanging, and to confirm such a transaction, you have to take off your shoe, to give it a legal validity, to confirm a commercial transaction. And the narrator emphatically emphasizes the legal validity of this symbolic action of, well, taking off the shoe. Both Moses and Joshua received a divine command to remove their shoes. It was related to the divine presence on the land. And if God in the Bible emphasizes that he takes possession of a piece of land, it says, I will cast my shoe, I will throw my shoe. When God showed to Abram the land and said, I will give it to you, he says, get up, walk through the land, through its length and its breadth, for I will give it to you. And the same thing happens when Moses brings the children of Israel just before entering the land through the desert. He says, every place on which the sole of your foot treads shall be yours. From the wilderness to the Lebanon, and from the river Euphrates, to the western sea shall be your territory. But you cannot take a map and show, this is mine. But you have to go and have to step with your foot on the land. And the same thing happens when Moses had died and Joshua was about to bring the people of Israel into the land of Israel. God tells him, now therefore arise, go over this Jordan, you and all this people, into the land that I'm giving to you, to the sons of Israel. Every place that the sole of your foot shall tread upon, I will give to you, just as I promised to Moses. From the wilderness and this Lebanon, as far as the great river, the river Euphrates, all the land of the Hittites, to the great sea, towards the going down of the sun, shall be your territory. And it's said more often. Now, obviously, treading on a piece of land was the sign of taking possession of the soil. And the means by which you would tread on the land are the shoes. And taking off the shoes, giving them to your partner, in business was renunciation of possession. You handed the right of ownership over to your contractual partner. Interestingly, commentators here point out that this custom was known among other cultures, like in India or in Germany. If you wanted to hand over a fixed property, you had to take possession by treading on it and showing that you convey this property. You would hand over a shoe. Now, we looked at it that Boaz here mixes two things, the obligation to redeem on the one hand, and the levirate marriage on the other hand. And in the levirate marriage, you had something similar. It says there, if the brother-in-law doesn't want to accept his brother's wife, doesn't want to take her, then the elders of his city shall call him and speak to him. And if he persists and says, "No, I do not wish to take her," then his brother's wife shall go up to him in the presence of the elders and pull the sandal off his foot and spit in his face, and she shall answer and say, "So shall be done to the man who does not build up his brother's house. And the name of his house shall be called in Israel, the house of him who had his sandal pulled off." Now we have to be very clear. Ruth wasn't even present. And the Ploni Almoni took his shoe and handed it over to Boaz. This was not what is called in Hebrew the chalitza ceremony, where the wife of the dead that would not have been taken by his brother removed his shoe. So it's another ceremony. And we have to be aware of that the one ceremony is a ceremony of shaming somebody, of telling him it's not proper what you're doing. And here in this case, Boaz is the one who receives the right to enter, to take possession of the land. The Ploni Almoni says very clearly, "Buy it for yourself." And he drew off his shoe and handed it to Boaz.